is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video I want to show you guys a trick that I always use to find the absolute hottest trends, not just for KDP but pretty much in any niche you're in. You can use this in FBA, you can use it in Shopify, you can use it for publishing, you can use it for KDP, you can use it for selling on Etsy, and in fact it's mandatory for me. So I like to use this tactic to figure out what kind of products I'm going to sell that are red hot and will probably continue to do so, and also the hottest seasonal products to actually sell. I actually keep a notebook of these ideas, although there is a way to almost make it seem like you do have a crystal ball, which I will show you in one of next week's videos. However, today, let's focus on a 100% free way to figure out what is fire at the present time and how you can literally take these actual ideas and put them for sale in just about any single niche. And it's the formula that I've used for the several past years to have several successful products, and it's a formula that I'm gonna show you guys right here. So let's go ahead and jump straight into my screen share. All right, so I'm here on my desktop and I'm gonna show you guys this actual tool, which we pretty much all know. However, I've not really seen it described in the way that I'm about to show you to use it. And the other actual thing that I've not seen described really anywhere is how do we use this information and how do we move it over industry to industry. And what I mean by that is, let's just say you're an Amazon seller, or you could be a KDP Books seller. How would you use the information that you find and be able to use it in any one of those niches that there is across the board? That's what I'm gonna show you. And this is gonna give you a limitless amount of ideas that are red hot, like I'm talking fire. So here it is. And like I said, it's gonna be no surprise to most of you, but just hang on a second here and watch what I'm actually doing with it. This tool is none other than good old Google Trends. And when I actually go into Google Trends, usually people will tell you, look at the trending searches and see what's hot. And if we were actually to do that and see what's hot right now, well, we can see things like National Donut Day. So if you haven't gone out there and gotten your Krispy Kreme, today's a fantastic day to make the excuse that it's National Donut Day, to eat as many donuts as you want. Tell whoever's telling you not to do it that I said you could, right? And there's LK stock, there's Rand Paul, there's AAL stock, there's Jake Paul. But how in the hell can we make an actual product, being that all these names are either trademark names or celebrity names? Fact of the matter is we can't. However, if we actually go deeper into Google Trends, I'm going to show you where we can find the things that we can make products with. And pretty much all I did is click on this little 3-line thing and I hit Explore. And once in Explore, we have to first and foremost make sure that we're in USA, and we want to look at the past 90 days. If we're trying to look at a pretty solid trend, we can also cut that down to 30 days, and we can even go sooner with 7 days. But one thing you will see is that there's not as much search volume when you go sooner, and you're not really sure if the trend is kind of a good one. So I'm gonna look at past 90, and what we do here is we can pretty much take care of and look at any category. So you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go through some of these, and then I'll show you how to go even deeper into them, and then I will also show you which keywords should you pay attention to. So I am in arts and entertainment, and what you're gonna notice is here are all the actual terms, and you'll notice that these at the top say breakout. What this means is this one is fire. So when you find topics that you can do something with, they will usually be breakout or they'll be close enough to it. And then you got to just put your mind to it and try to figure out how to make it something. And I'll show you what I mean here. Here is one that stands out to me immediately. It's thank you coronavirus helpers. So just knowing that a lot of people want to give their appreciation to coronavirus workers. So if you're a KDP seller, journals come straight to mind, a journal thanking them. Also, if you're an actual Amazon seller, it could be mugs, it could be any kind of things like that. And the list goes on and on. Activity books, you name it, you can make with this. Now, the other thing that stands out here, and I've been talking about this for months, is the Zoom app. Now, a lot of people would say, how in the hell can I use the Zoom app to actually make money? Well, fact is, if you are an expert at using Zoom, you can market a course, a simple, quick tutorial on how to actually use Zoom and how to conduct very professional meetings, as well as just Zoom Hangouts or whatever in the hell they're called, right? That's another example of how you can do that. But you can clearly see even the officer that choked George Floyd to death is right here. His name is a breakout. And I'm not saying to use that name, but if you had no idea who that was, he is trending. So you could quickly and easily copy and paste it into Google and find out why he's trending. But the list goes on and on. Netflix parties are huge. So naturally, people would need things for Netflix parties. And I'm talking about party supplies and things of that nature. And there's just a lot of other things like Memorial Day. And you're going to see here The Last Dance. A lot of people might not know what that is, but that's the actual documentary made about Michael Jordan. And I'll show you here what that means. It means that shoes are red hot. I'm talking about Jordans, resale of Jordans. The other day ago, I went to Marshall's. I picked up a pair of shoes for very cheap. And lo and behold, now it's at $133 and I only paid $37. But all this information tells you things. And now I can go into the next one, and we're in autos and vehicles now. And if I click down here, Joe Exotic. So if you have no idea who Joe Exotic is, how can you use this to actually create a product, or Tiger King? It's actually pretty simple. While you cannot use Joe Exotic, I would say that's totally against the rules, and there are some people using it. You can create an activity book about tigers, right? You can do a lot of things. And the list goes on and on. There is Zoom again that pops out. And let's go to the next category and see what else pops up. Beauty and fitness. This will tell us physical products that actually sell. Here is how to make a face mask. So again, I've been talking about an ebook for this. I've seen a lot of people do the actual thing in general, but there's also one that I saw on here earlier that was dumbbells, adjustable dumbbells. Those are obviously going to be hot right now. And if you're an FBA seller, you can try and figure out how to jump into the actual dumbbell niche and make a ton of money with it. And then there's magic shaving powder, which I can't imagine what it is, because you just have to figure out how to capitalize on that fact, like hair removal, obviously. But I'm just joking with that. That's not the case. I don't actually know what magic shaving powder is. But the list continues to go on and on. If you're in the actual fitness niche, Murph workout, whatever in the hell that is, could classify. And again, as I said before, hang on, because we will definitely find some Kindle topics here for all you Kindle lovers out there. But again, the coronavirus thing keeps popping up over and over. Now here's one that you could definitely take with KDP and run with it. It is Memorial Day quotes. And while yes, you can say Memorial Day's gone, Liz, you know, we can't do anything with that. What about every single holiday that denotes some type of independence? We're talking about Independence Day on the 4th. We're talking about Veterans Day. There's still a bunch more to go. So again, like I said, there are several holidays coming up. Here's something that says Circus at Book, or The Plot Against America. Here's Molly Bloom, which if you're in poker, you'd know about that name. But that just goes to show all the things right now that are trending. And if we keep going on and on, we will find more things. In the business section, people are trying to figure out how to get their actual stimulus check. And so a funny one that comes to mind, if I'm actually in the Kindle niche and I'm a good graphic artist, is maybe a fake book that has like a fake stimulus check on the front to be used as a practical joke. I think that'd be funny. I think if somebody gave me a journal like that, I would crack the hell up and think that was really funny. Obviously, if people really need it, they're not going to think it's as funny as I do, but I thought it was pretty funny. But the list goes on and on about ideas that you can actually make or create from this, and I'm just looking at some of them and trying to figure out. Nintendo Switch is red hot, and I just pretty much went through several of the topics to cherry pick a few that I liked, and here's one: hummingbird food. So hummingbird food is a physical product that somebody could create, but the other thing to note here is it's important to actually do what I'm about to show you here on all the products that you decide to run, especially if they're Amazon FBA products. You want to click into the item and you want to look at the past 5 years, and you want to make sure that it's not like this, cyclical in nature. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Because what that pretty much means is that hummingbird food is red hot in the summer, but then it dies out during Christmas and winter. So something like this, if you were a seasonal seller, you would easily be able to tell, yes, hummingbird food is a thumbs up. But if you're not a seasonal seller, then you don't want to go anywhere near hummingbird food, because of the fact of the matter is that you won't sell any during the off season. And I don't want to say you won't sell any, but you won't sell as much. So here I am in games, and one thing that stood out to me is people are looking up stuff with martial law, and I think they're spelling it wrong, but I could be totally wrong. I'm not the greatest at spelling, but there's a lot that here are talking about Animal Crossings, and while I've seen a lot of these print-on-demand Animal Crossings, and there's no trademark with Animal Crossings, it is somebody's major brand. So if you're selling shit like that, expect to get sued, because you shouldn't be. just because there's not a trademark on something doesn't mean that there won't be one soon. And the fact of the matter is they could come after you for a lot of money if you sell things that somebody else clearly owns. All right, so here's another category where I got some ideas, and not really for this holiday, but there are several holidays that we could use in conjunction with this. But here's Happy Mother's Day. Here is another one that's Mother's Day gifts and Mother's Day quotes. And apparently, obviously, Mother's Day has gone and went. And you know, you're probably thinking like, Liz, what the hell are you talking about? Mother's Day's already gone. But Father's Day has not yet. And although it's getting closer and closer, there's all sorts of other crazy, stupid holidays like National Side Chicks Day and Grandparents Day and Sisters Days and Brothers Day and Employees Day and Boss Day. All sorts of days like that that you could make the similar books that you would make for Mother's Day for those actual days, as well as Teacher Appreciation Week. And Feliz Dia de las Madres, that's just another way of saying Mother's Day. So you can clearly see if you did not hit the Spanish market, maybe you should have, and maybe you should look to hitting the Spanish market as we speak right now for other things. And then there's Happy Easter. Obviously Easter came and went, but there's other holidays on the horizon. And then again, going back to Tiger King, here is Big Cat Rescue. So clearly an activity book or a coloring book depicting tigers and not necessarily anywhere saying Joe Exotic would definitely sell pretty hot. Speaking of other days, Father's Day is red hot, so is Cinco de Mayo still, and birthday jams. What about putting some sort of books together for birthdays or things of that nature? There's really a limitless amount of ideas when you allow yourself to kind of think about how these can transcend into every single niche that there is. And so this is probably the last one I look at because we've already been on here for quite some time. And then I will kind of show you a way that you can further jump into those to get more zoned in actual keywords. But here's the crazy one that I thought just kind of cracked me up like crazy. It is Trump disinfectant. So I think it would be awesome if somebody put together an actual coloring book or activity book that is all about disinfecting Trump. And I think that would sell like fire. How do I know? Well, if you don't really know my entire story, one of the actual products that I sold a couple years back that really was selling like hotcakes, and I'm talking about 500 units per day, was a roll of Trump toilet paper. I was one of the very first people to actually sell that, and as a result, I would sell 500 units a day during election year, and right now we're in a similar circumstance. So again, the first person that actually puts that up and it gets it going will probably have a viral product on their hands. And as you can see, I'm in the section where we can clearly see a lot of other products that would do extremely well. So the last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is how do we actually niche into this even further? Well, as you scroll over each of these actual categories, you'll notice that there's an arrow that points to the right. If I click on that, there's several subcategories on that. So if I actually want to look into this crafts section, I can go and click on crafts. And every time there's an actual side arrow, there's an even further subdivision of crafts. But taking a look at what's hot in the craft niche, we can see all the things that are actually hot in there. And then if I keep going, we'll see that all these are breakouts and they are things that we wouldn't have seen in the higher end niche. So that's pretty much it, and that's how you further divide and figure out things that are going to sell red hot. But other than that, let me know your questions and or comments, and I just want you guys to remember the great Dan Kennedy, who I think he's passed on, but he used to tell people all the time, what does well in one industry will do well in any industry as long as you apply the same principles. And that's the exact point of this video, that I hope that many of you take advantage of the trends happening in the world and in other niches and bring them over into whatever niche it is that you're in. If you do that and do it right, you will make a good amount of money online. So that's it. I'll see you guys later.